Welcome to the SMB Community Podcast with hosts Amy Babinchek, James Kernan, and Carl Polachek. Produced by Kernan Consulting and for the international MSP community. We are dedicated to making every IT professional a successful IT professional. Hey everybody, welcome back to the SMB Community Podcast. This is James Kernan with Kernan Consulting, and good to be with you. Today I've got a very special guest, the co-founder of Monjur, Mr. Rob Scott. Rob, welcome to the program.
Thanks, James. Good to be with you.
Yeah. So thanks for being on today. I was excited to get back in touch with you again and talk with you and share what you guys are doing over there at Monjur. You know, truth be told, you guys have a really cool solution, and I hadn't heard of you until the very tail end of last year. And I think I was at a conference, and one of my customers actually was doing a presentation, and they brought up your solution, and it was like, wow, I got to reach out to these guys. So it's been a long time coming, but I'm excited to reconnect with you again. So thank you again for being here. So we're going to talk about your company, Monjur, and it's really contracts as a service. You've got AI powered. I mean, there's some cool features we'll dig into in a minute, but if you could, let's go back a little bit in time. I'd like the audience to get to know you as a person a little bit more. How did you get into this? Maybe talk a little bit about your early career and then we'll talk about where you're at now.
So I started my career in, 1999. I got my law license and started practicing. By the early 2000s, I was very heavily engaged as the managing partner of Scott & Scott LLP, which is a law firm that focuses exclusively on IT matters. So software, IT services, we cover privacy, security, and compliance, and artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
We only deal with computer law issues, and so that's how I started my career as the managing partner of a law firm. By 2020, I had amassed literally hundreds of clients in the managed services space, all of whom I had written contracts for, but had no ability to keep their contracts updated. And so I was in a position where the only clients that were really getting our best stuff were the next clients. And our former clients' agreements were getting older and staler with no real mechanism to keep them updated for changes in the law. Mm-hmm. In 2020, I started building a project which we called internally Monjur, and we launched that in March of 2022. So we just finished our 27th month, and it's been a whirlwind ever since.
Yeah, that's awesome. So help the audience understand what your service looks like. I call it contracts as a service. I did a demo and really liked what I saw, but let's go a little deeper into what the service looks like.
So at its core, it's a legal service. We write the master services agreements, the service attachments, the regulatorily required data processing agreements, and all the contracts that comprise a modern stack for IT services firms. We start with what we consider our industry-leading templates curated over 20 years and 500 plus engagements, and then we customize them for each MSP, and then we host them, and we keep them updated through the cloud. But the magic of the Monjur platform is that it integrates directly into our clients' sales processes and quoting tools, such that when they send out a quote or proposal and their clients accept the quote or proposal, our legal service just tags along. And so we're able to collapse the sales and contracting steps into one online process centered around our clients' existing tools.
Yeah, that's the part that is the magic. That's the part I thought that was so amazing. And I was ironically on another podcast this morning, and I was talking about you we were actually talking about how the industry has changed so much. And for the MSP, there's so much risk now on our shoulders, and you need protection. And we were talking about, attorneys and contract language and insurance and training. There's all sorts of things that you need on your side. And then we're talking about your service. And then, so here's a question I had for you. It kind of came up today. how often, because there's all of the MSPs need so many different types have legal agreements. And, there's so many different industries and so many other requirements. How often does the contract language get updated?
We update our templates every week. On our Essentials plan, which is our first tier plan, the agreements are updated for our clients every month. In our standard plan, it's quarterly. And so we have different update intervals for different agreements. For example, our data processing agreements are updated every time a new law comes out. Okay. So if you think about all these state laws that are passing data privacy laws, every time there's a data privacy law that comes out in the U.S. state, we evaluate it, determine whether or not and to what extent it affects our customers. And if it does, we push those updates to them when those laws come out. So last year, we had Virginia, Colorado, and Connecticut all pass data privacy laws. Our clients' agreements have long since been updated to reflect those laws.
Okay. And then how does it work? Like if I send out a contract or a proposal today with a contract on it, someone signs it, executes it, and then obviously there's updates and revisions to that same agreement later. How does that work if a legal issue pops up and we've got to go back in time to the date they signed it and approved it? What does that look like? How does that work?
Well, you may not be in a situation where you have to go back and look at it, because what we do is something called browser wrap. Is something that we took from the large enterprise, but it basically says that when the customer signs up to an agreement for the first time on the Monjur platform, it includes in the quote language that says that the provider has the right to update the terms and conditions and give the customer notice.
Got it.
So it's those updates and those notices that are part of the service that we offer. So, when our agreements are updated, our clients don't have to go to their clients and obtain a new signature because Colorado passed a data privacy law.
Good.
Or because we make a tweak to some language. What I tell my clients is rely on the browser wrap. If it's not something that would have changed the customer's opinion to do business with you in the first place, if it's something that would have affected their decision, then you present it to them. And just like you would, if it's a significant price increase or a structural change or it's a significant change in services, all that still needs to be sold. What we're trying to do is make it easier for the MSP to put all their customers on a single contract form and to give them a way to easily keep all of their customers updated. What we find is that MSPs enter into agreements with customers. They generally let them auto-renew, and some customers have contracts, some don't. Others are on different forms of contracts that don't have all the latest protections. And with Monjur, we move all of your customers to a single contract form that is updated over time.
Okay, and I'm going to nerd out a little bit because I want to go a little bit deeper in the weeds so people can understand how cool this is. So say I'm using a quoting platform, online quoting platform, and I'm emailing my quote out, and then they approve it, and then I send my agreement along with an invoice, for example. What does the process look like?
Nothing else to do. So you were great. You were great until you said I send in the agreement. Those quotes and proposals have on them an Exhibit A, which comes from us,
okay,
which contains the smart hyperlinks from the Monjur platform that contain the online terms and conditions. So if you send a quote out and the customer accepts the quote, all of the legal terms and conditions on our Exhibit A that we provide are entered into at that time. There's nothing else to send.
Perfect. Love it. And then so then they go ahead and move forward. I mean, is there anything else to it? Is there anything else that that the MSP would need to do? Is it that simple?
From the once they're set up, it's that simple. Send out your quotes from your quoting tool, include an Exhibit A from Monjur on all your quotes, and every time someone buys a laptop, a new computer, buys a project, adds a service, every time they are upgraded to the new paper. So this is how we migrate all of our MSP's customers to the Monjur platform, usually within a few months. Once on the platform, then their agreements just get updated in the normal rhythm through the browser wrap apparatus that we created. And the quote templates always reflect the live terms and conditions because the hyperlinks that we provide are smart in the sense that once embedded into the quoting tools, they always point to the then live terms and conditions.
Okay. And how long, if I'm an MSP, I sign up for the program and I'm using a Kaseya platform, I'm using their quoting tool. I know you've got lots of integrations, but how long does it take to get integrated, to get to get everything connected?
So the integration is performed by us. It's a under 30-minute project for the Kaseya Commerce products. They've got one branded for Datto and one for Autotask, all based on the formerly Datto Commerce product. That's an under 30-minute project, and that's a service we provide as part of our setup.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And then on the onboarding, is there any kind of training, or do we even need any kind of training on this?
Well, yeah, we do some training. The most important thing with onboarding is reviewing the documents. There's 2 documents that are unique to each MSP. One is our schedule of third-party services. This is the risk mitigation solution that we created in response to the Kaseya ransomware attacks. And it comes pre-populated to each of our clients with over 200 vendors in the space. And it acts as a waiver of the end user's right to sue the MSP for any act or omission of a third-party service. So consider, for example, the Kaseya ransomware attacks or the Acronis case that's pending in California now, where there's an allegation against an MSP as a result of something that a vendor did or didn't do. And our scheduled third-party services is designed to protect MSPs from that, but we need to know who the vendors are. And so as part of our setup, we provide a list of 200 vendors that we're aware of, and each one of our customers goes through that, lets us know any they want to take off, and if there's any they're using that we don't have on there yet, we add them, and that's part of our onboarding. The other part of and that's everything that you need to do for our what we call essentials tier, which scales to 1.5 million in revenue. For our larger MSPs that are in our standard tier, they also have a schedule of services. Think of this as a catalog of all of the services that they offer, and we send one out as a template that has just core, managed services, managed security, managed voice, backup and disaster recovery, sort of the core, MSP services. And then our clients can either replace that with theirs or use ours as a basis to develop their own. And that's those 2 documents in the case of standard, and the 1 document in the case of essentials is the work that our clients need to do with us to get that done. Our essentials clients are onboarding an average of 14 days, and our standard clients are onboarding in an average of 45 days.
That's great. That's great. I've got to tell you, I've been in sales and marketing for over 30 years, and specifically in the IT space, and there's nothing that kills a deal faster than a bad contract or strict contract language. It can just we used to call them sales hurdles. There's always sales hurdles, and I love, 1, that you protect the MSP, 2, you make it easy for the customer to understand and review. That's amazing. And then face it, everybody, we're technology companies. It's our responsibility to use the latest and greatest technology, right, to make it seamless to do transactions for our customers. I think this is amazing. And have you had any MSP end user customers reach out and want to use the platform or see if there was something like that? I mean, I would imagine that has to have happened.
Well, we haven't had that, just because that's not something that we would entertain. If that was something that was presented, it would never reach me because it's not part of our model. But we have had a lot of MSPs ask us about our platform, particularly our customer experience portal.
Yep.
And we've had many of our MSP clients implement a version of our customer experience portal because they liked it so much they wanted to use it with their customers. But we wouldn't do, our our solution is very niche. If an MSP's customer wanted to use our contracts, they wouldn't fit. Our contracts are very purpose-built for managed services. And so we wouldn't want to represent their end users, and our agreements wouldn't fit their businesses.
Good. Just protect us MSPs. That's what everybody's thinking.
I've got a goal to protect 4,000 MSPs with this Monjur platform. We recently announced a deal with TechRug and Lloyd's of London, which will have us onboarding 1,000 MSPs from their insurance pool in the next 12 months. And so we've got our hands full just taking care of MSPs. We don't have any interest in representing their clients.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So I know you've got a special promotion going on. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. One of the things that we've heard from our clients is they perceive some degree of risk in signing up for a long-term agreement. I think in part because certain players in our space have abused the market when it comes to long-term agreements, and it's really turned people off to it. So what we've done for the summer is now you can sign up for Monjur on either one of our tiers. You pay a one-time setup fee of either $299 or $498, depending on your tier. And then you don't pay anything until after Labor Day. This gives you time to get onboarded, to start closing deals with the Monjur platform before you have to pay any monthly fees. That, coupled with our 90-day, no questions asked satisfaction guarantee, really allows people to sign up and try the Monjur platform for very little risk.
That's great. I love it. So how can people get in touch with you? Who do we reach out to and how?
Well, you can reach me directly. My email is robs@monjur, monjur.com. Our office phone number is 214-999-0080 for those of you who still use phones. And you can reach us on the web at www.monjur.com. And there's a request a demo button at the top of the page. If you want to check out the Monjur platform in action, we'd love to show it to you. You can go to the site, click on the requested demo, and we'll show it to you.
Yeah, check it out, everybody. You got to check it out. I have seen the demo. It's amazing. So monjur.com, and click on the demo button or reach out to Rob and his team. So, all right. Well, hey, thanks for being on the program today. I love talking to you guys and learning more about the platform. And thank you for doing what you do. I mean, what a needed service.
Thank you very much. I was 20 years in representing MSPs as the traditional lawyer, and many of them told me, hey, man, you need to turn this into a service. This should be a monthly recurring revenue service. And for all of those MSPs and others out there, and you know who you are, that encouraged me to do this, I just want to say thank you. It wasn't easy to do, but without your encouragement, I would have never done it. So thank you guys for that.
All right, you bet. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, James. Take care.